Head on and hood on, pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one, they want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense, I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Touchdown, 8th floor, come down, hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m., check out. Might give her one foul, just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a match. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay, 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros, left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown.
They check it to 10.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Pops, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving a show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, passing your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin, subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see the exciting second-year quarterback, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens, as they take on Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. So with that, let's get out to the East Bay and Oakland, California. On the call.
Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward a conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. Tonight, on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store between the Baltimore Ravens and the Oakland Raiders. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. Dancing to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Everyone in this stadium knows Jackson can do that as well as any QB in the league. They talked about limiting some of his running this year, especially the design runs, but he's still going to scramble when he feels he has green in front of him. He led all quarterbacks last year, 695 yards rushing. And keep in mind, 80% of those came in the 7-game stretch when he was named starter late in the season. Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now it's Jackson. Got a man. It's Brown. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Probably mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for
and a big loss here as he's taken down. Josh Morrow just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a 1st down, and inside the 5-yard line.
False start, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
From back at the 8 now after the false start, another try at 1st and goal. Now Jackson steps away to his left, and now he's going to use his legs. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vincent Mayoa, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Third and goal, Jackson eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
They'll run for it. It's Ingram. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Carr now on 1st down. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Jalen Ferguson just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB. And guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
Only 3 yards on the pickup. They'll be left staring at a 3rd and 14.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And it looks like the offense did get the football back, but it is clearly in that end zone, and it's going to be a safety. So after a scoreless first quarter, we at least finally get some points on the board.
But it can't be what either of us expected, can it?
No, the safety's not what you expect for the first points of the game, but one of the goose eggs is gone. And looking up into the sun, he's able to make the fair catch inside the 20-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Mark Ingram there. But it'll be 2nd down. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore number 1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together. The defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
The Raven passing game getting in sync. Another first down. To throw is Jackson. Flushed out right. He's going to take, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Taking it in from 7 yards away as the Ravens push further out in front. The quarterback run has eaten him up all game long, and there he goes again, this time into the end zone.
And what I like about what I'm seeing, absolutely running almost with impunity. He's not worried about his body. He's not worried about sliding. He's not worried about protecting himself. He's worried about getting yardage. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, you've got to start figuring out what these blocking schemes are and finding ways to defeat them.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
First down.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. shotgun now for Carr. Here's a short little toss to Carrier. Muscles by at the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Derek Carrier, 59 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Well, that's pretty impressive, Charles. It's one thing to be an elite speed wide receiver and have all that yards after the catch into the end zone, but from your tight end?
Yeah, you don't get that very often. What you're describing is more like a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and Antonio Brown. You're not talking about a guy that lines up or can line up in line and look like an extra tackle on running plays. He took that bad boy downfield just like he was a scat back.
Before the game, he told me, I'm going to have a zinger or two today. And I was like, oh, a zinger or two? I guess that's a zinger, right?
That's a zinger.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. With that incompletion, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston, and now we'll have to go on the road to play them again in week 17. So I would say, on the surface, you would think Houston. They have the quarterback as well in Deshaun Watson that scares everyone. But I'm picking Tennessee as the team that could go deeper because of their defense. That's really a top 5 defense on any given Sunday. Their ability to rush the passer, their ability to play the ball in the air. I like that Tennessee team, and I think Ryan...
Now they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Good trap. Hey, switch gears.
Carr now on first down. The open man here, Renfro. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now Carr. That's complete to Richard, the running back. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Brandon, we spent time with this team before the game, and there was never any indication that they did not like their kicker.
Well, it shows right now that they didn't like their kicker. Why didn't they just put it through the goalpost and take the lead?
That is going to be the question that has to be answered. I don't know about you, but I'm skipping my flight. I'm going to the post-game press conference to find out what they were thinking.
Instead of playing conservative, they go through the air, and what a stunning turn of events. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Come on now, let's go.
As the Raiders set up for this next drive, you know, it's strange to think about this team moving to Las Vegas in 2020. Final home game back on December 15th in Oakland. They lost that game to Jacksonville, but What a storied franchise. Great years in Oakland. Then they moved to Los Angeles, came back to Oakland, and the run the second time around in Oakland since '95 has not been as strong. Under 500 as a team since coming back. They didn't have the one Super Bowl appearance in Super Bowl 37, but kind of a strange ending in a season that won't end in the playoffs before they head out to Las Vegas next year. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. Past the 20. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jalen Richard in the final seconds of the first half as they have now chopped this lead down to 3.
Terrific. Touchdown. I know we've got a game now.
Yeah, I think anytime you go into the second half down just 1 or 2 scores, you feel not where you want to be, but in a pretty good spot.
And I think for most teams, when they go into the half in this situation, it's not a lot of adjusting going on. It's much more, all right, guys, let's just play a little bit better than we did in the first half.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. On second down, Richard. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Carr going to throw. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard stripe.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now it's Jackson escaping the pressure right. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he's going to be ripped down by the face mask at the end of this, and that's going to add 15 more onto the end of this thing. Tack on 15 more for the face mask, and that becomes a huge play.
Big pass gets caught on you. You're doing everything possible to get him on the ground, and sometimes you end up grabbing the face mask.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Check 13. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 21. Second year with the Ravens for Hurst. He didn't have the rookie season he was hoping for, just 13 catches. Remember, he's older than the average second-year player. He spent 2 seasons as a pitcher in minor league baseball before hanging up the glove and heading to the gridiron. Now he says he's more determined than ever. Put on 20 pounds of muscle in the offseason. Says he's on a mission with a lot to prove this year. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. The situation changes a bit now. First and goal from back at the 10. Brushing off defenders. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Oh, he fakes a spike. He's got it to Ingram, complete. They get only a yard there. Now it's third and goal.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab as they have taken the lead. So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Let's get off the field.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. From the 38, Carr will get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 26. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary here. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really...
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. 3rd touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders have taken the lead. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. Now, Carr again. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they up their lead to 3. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of... Oh, now backing up, and he's out of the end zone. The referee was right there to call it, and that is a safety. Now the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you...
And he will score! Touchdown, Baltimore! Lamar Jackson, his 2nd touchdown of the night, and the Ravens have retaken the lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted for guy as a runner. Well, even on the passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Defensively, that's Earl Thomas, the all-pro safety, knocking it free.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Here's Thomas. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This pass into the arms of Snead. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11.
We got 4. We got 4.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Buying time to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. From 17 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. The big man, get the oxygen tank ready. The 20. 10, 5, and that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that, and that's what they've done all game long.
After the fumble recovery, it's Jackson being chased out left. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And, boy, things switched on a dime here. The fumble recovery for the touchdown and also a 2-point try on top successful.
That feels like a momentum call. Pick it up on a fumble return, take it the other way for a touchdown. That's demoralizing for a team to have it happen against them. So the offense just says, you know something? Let's add to it. Pile on top, go for 2 now while their heads are down.
On 1st down, Carr. It's Williams on the catch. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Throwing again on 2nd down. Carr, he completes it to Jones. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down. Carr now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st down. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. after the sack on first down. Carr, and that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. It's a screen to Richard. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a fourth down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
Yeah. 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 Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same packet, nobody knew, so I never get confused. Hotel get a bird's eye view. Hotel got a waiting room. Read a magazine while you wait for me, baby. I'll be done so soon. Phone gotta be off, each store got locks. I got some trusted shoes. Okay. 10K on the countertop, don't look so shocked. It's nothing new. Okay. Death comes in threes. Wins come in twos. Cash comes in ones. Throw it up, celebrate some news. Ay. I do a good job. Pull up and pop out and pull out. Head on and hood on. Pedal to metal. When I put my foot on, I got to put on. I got a bad one. They want to keep me. Oh, that's a good one. Pockets are dense. I think my bread is hard as a crouton. Receipts in my pocket don't come with a coupon. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket. No change. Okay. I might